Stop everything if your car has any of these symptoms. Don't spend another dime at the mechanics until you've watched this entire video. Windows that refuse to go up. Gas mileage that inexplicably plummets. Dashboard lights going crazy for no reason. A locked radio asking for a code you never had. What you're about to discover in the next few minutes are 12 secret resets that the auto industry has jealously hidden for decades. Tricks that have already saved over 200,000 drivers from repair bills easily exceeding $2,000. The eighth trick is so powerful that some dealerships consider it classified information. They might even void your warranty if they find out you know it. But be warned, there's a catch. These resets must be performed in the exact order I'm about to show you. If you alter the sequence, even by a single step, you could create far more serious problems than the ones you started with. That's why I need your full attention. Do not skip any part of this video. Let's start with a problem as common as it is annoying. Unlocking your radio without a security code. Let me tell you my friend Paul's nightmare. 2 weeks ago, he changed his car battery himself. A simple job he was quite proud of. Imagine his disappointment when he turned the ignition back on. His beautiful radio turned into a useless brick displaying the message, code. A 4-digit code that of course he never received when he bought the car. His dealership, contacted on Monday morning, gave him the news with icy professionalism. $150 for an in-shop code retrieval. A complete rip-off. Here is the trick the technicians use on the sly. On most factory radios, press and hold the preset buttons 1 and 6 at the same time while turning the radio on. The screen will then display a long sequence of numbers and letters. That's your unit's serial number. Write it down very carefully. Next, open a web browser on your phone and search for Free Radio Code Calculator. You'll find several sites that do this. Enter your serial number and, as if by magic, the site will instantly give you the 4-digit unlock code. Paul entered the code and his radio came back to life. He was stunned that something so simple almost cost him a ruinous trip to the dealership. The look on the salesman's face when he told him the story was priceless. Second reset, fixing abnormally high fuel consumption. You feel like your car has started guzzling gas as if it were water. You've seen your weekly fuel costs jump from $40 to $80. Mechanics love this symptom. They'll immediately talk about changing injectors, sensors, or even the fuel pump. A quote that quickly skyrockets. The reality is that your car's computer, its electronic brain, sometimes forgets the efficient consumption parameters and starts injecting fuel uncontrollably. The reset is simple, but very specific. With the engine completely cold, in the morning before the first start is ideal, disconnect the negative terminal of your battery, only the negative one, for exactly 12 minutes. Use a timer, then reconnect it. Start the engine and let it idle without touching anything for 5 exact minutes. Next, gently accelerate to 2000 RPMs and hold that speed for 30 seconds. Repeat this process 3 times. What you're doing is forcing the computer to relearn and recalculate all the fuel injection maps from scratch. My personal fuel consumption returned to normal in less than 60 miles. From $80 a week I went back down to $35. Third secret, releasing a stuck electronic parking brake. This happened to me at 2 in the morning at a deserted gas station. I swear I thought I was going to be stranded there all night. The electronic parking brake was completely jammed. It wouldn't go up, it wouldn't go down, nothing. As if my car had decided to put down roots. Emergency towing services were quoting me $300 just to show up. That's when I remembered what an old mechanic had told me at a party. These electronic brakes have a hidden emergency mode that doesn't even appear in the owner's manual. Here's the trick that saved me. With the engine off, press and hold the parking brake button for exactly 15 seconds. Then, without releasing it, start the engine and count another 10 seconds. You'll hear a strange mechanical sound, as if something is being forcefully released inside. That's exactly what's happening. The system is entering emergency manual release mode. Release the button and gently press the accelerator. The brake releases instantly. This trick saved my night, and I've used it 5 times since on friends' cars. It works in 90% of cases. If these first few tricks have already been an eye-opener, just imagine what's next. To make sure you don't miss anything and to support independent automotive information, subscribe now and hit that notification bell. Your support is our fuel. It gives us the strength to keep revealing what others would rather keep secret. Fourth trick. Resetting the tire pressure sensor without tools. That annoying little orange light that won't turn off, even if your tires are perfectly inflated. Most people rush to the shop and pay $50 to have a machine hooked up. But there's a ninja method that even rookie mechanics don't know. Here's the trick. Turn the ignition on, but don't start the engine, just to the accessory position. Now, the magic part. Press the brake pedal 3 times in a row. Then, press the start button without releasing the brake. The car's computer will enter diagnostic mode. You'll see the dashboard lights flash like a Christmas tree. Keep the brake pedal pressed for exactly 15 more seconds. Turn everything off. Wait 30 seconds and start the car normally. Boom, the sensor will have completely reset. This works on 80% of modern vehicles. A Toyota technician with 30 years of experience swore to me that it's more effective than their professional machines. 5th reset, manual calibration of a weak air conditioner. You turn on the AC and it blows more hot air than a hairdryer. I discovered this by accident last summer. Your air conditioner has an internal memory that gets out of sync over time. The temperature sensors lose their calibration, and the system starts operating with completely incorrect parameters. Here's the trick that not even AC technicians know. With the engine off, simultaneously press the maximum temperature and minimum temperature buttons for 15 exact seconds. You'll hear 3 consecutive beeps. Now start the engine, turn the AC to max cold, and let it run for 10 full minutes without touching it. During this time, the system is recalibrating all its temperature and pressure sensors. The difference is brutal. I went from lukewarm air that barely cooled to an Arctic blast that chills the car in under 3 minutes. 6th reset. The one for stuck power windows. You have a window that stopped halfway and now seems glued with cement. Before you run to the shop to spend $300 on a new motor, let me tell you that power windows have an internal memory that sometimes goes haywire. It's as if the window's brain forgets where up is and where down is. Here's the trick your mechanic probably doesn't know. With the ignition on, press and hold the button to raise the window for 15 full seconds, even after it has stopped moving, then do the same with the button to lower it for another 15 seconds. What you're doing is forcing the module to rescan the window's entire path from scratch. I've seen completely dead windows come back to life with this method. A lady wrote to me saying her rear window had been stuck for 2 years and she fixed it in 30 seconds. 7th secret, calibrating an off-center steering wheel. It drives me crazy to see people pay $800 for an alignment when the problem wasn't the tires. It was the steering wheel's computer. My brother-in-law bought a used car and the steering wheel was completely crooked to the left, but the car drove straight. Every shop told him the same thing. You need a full alignment, new suspension, maybe even replace the rack and pinion. Total lies. The real problem was that the steering position sensor was misconfigured. The computer thought the straight wheel was actually a turned wheel. Here's the trick that's worth its weight in gold. With the car perfectly straight on a flat surface, turn the key to the on position without starting the engine. Hold the steering wheel perfectly centered and simultaneously press the cruise control buttons for 15 exact seconds. You'll hear a soft beep and the steering wheel will be perfectly calibrated. My brother-in-law couldn't believe that something so simple solved an $800 problem. 8th reset. The one for dashboard lights that won't turn off. Is that check engine light flashing like a Christmas tree driving you mad? Or maybe it's the oil light that just won't go off no matter what you do. Most of these annoying lights are just your car's computer having an existential crisis after a minor issue that's already been fixed. Here is the ninja method I learned from a veteran mechanic. Turn the ignition on, but don't start the car. Then press the accelerator pedal all the way down 3 times in less than 10 seconds. Next, turn the key to the off position and wait for exactly 30 seconds. Now comes the magic. Restart the car and simultaneously press the trip reset buttons on the dashboard for 15 exact seconds while the engine is running. In 90% of cases, those lights will disappear as if by magic. It's like giving your car's hysterical computer a sedative. 9th reset, the deep clean of the throttle body. My car had a very weird problem. It would rev by itself in neutral, but when I put it in gear, it would completely choke. 3 different mechanics told me I needed to replace the entire throttle body, quote, $800. By searching on professional mechanics forums, I found the answer. The throttle body was completely clogged with carbon and grime, creating an obstruction that was confusing all the sensors. The solution is simpler than you can imagine. Remove the air hose that goes to the throttle body, spray carburetor cleaner directly onto the butterfly valve and, with a toothbrush, gently scrub it, while someone else revs the engine from inside. In 5 minutes, all that black sticky gunk is shot out. The change is instantaneous. Total cost, $4 for cleaner versus their $800 quote. 10th reset, the one for the fuel pump without replacing it. Your car suddenly dies on the highway, and the mechanic tells you that you need a new $800 pump. Lies. The fuel pump has a special fuse that gets traumatized when it's not used for a long time or when the tank is very low. Here is the golden trick. Locate the engine's fuse box, find the fuel pump fuse, and here's the important part. Don't pull it out yet. First, turn the ignition on and off 5 times in a row for 10 exact seconds each time. This resets the pump's memory. Now you can pull the fuse. Wait for exactly 30 seconds and put it back in. Start the car and you'll hear the pump come back to life. It's like giving first aid to your fuel system. 11th reset. The alarm that goes off for no reason. Is your alarm going crazy at 3 in the morning and waking up the whole neighborhood? I lived this nightmare for 2 weeks until I discovered this trick. People pay $200 for a mechanic to tell them to replace the whole alarm system. The problem is in the module's corrupted memory. Here's the secret I learned from a Mercedes technician. Car off. Disconnect the battery for exactly 10 minutes. But here's the crucial part no one tells you. While you're waiting, press the alarm button on the remote 5 times in a row. This completely resets the communication frequency between the remote and the receiver. It's like formatting a computer. When you reconnect the battery, start the car and press the panic button for 3 seconds until you hear a double beep. This confirms the reset was successful. 12th and final reset, the oil level sensor that lies. You've gone crazy checking the oil with the dipstick and it's perfect, but the dashboard keeps telling you it's low. This little problem cost me $300 2 years ago. The mechanic told me I had to change the whole sensor. But there was a much easier way that he, obviously, wasn't going to tell me. These sensors go haywire because of accumulated dirt or simply because they forget their original calibration. The trick is to fool the sensor into resetting itself. First, make sure the engine is completely cold. Disconnect the negative battery cable for exactly 10 minutes. In the meantime, remove the oil cap and put it back on 3 times in a row. Reconnect the battery, start the engine, and let it idle for 5 exact minutes. The sensor will perform a full self-calibration, and the annoying dashboard light will disappear for good. Incredible. You have just unlocked all the secrets that turn any problem car into a perfect machine. Share in the comments which trick worked for you, and on what model of car. Your experience is valuable and could help another motorist avoid an unnecessary expense. If this video saved you even one trip to the garage, show it with an immediate like, so that YouTube shows it to more people who are being ripped off by unscrupulous mechanics. Subscribe and hit the bell, because next week I will reveal the most dangerous reset of all. One that can double your engine's horsepower but is banned in several countries. See you in the next video, where everything changes forever.